In our day and age of the internet craze, people spend hours and hours online each day, exploring, doing work, absorbing news, and most of all, communicating. Online communities have sprung up everywhere, and people turn to their computers to combine leisurely reading and the need for human interaction. Lifestyle blogs are a prime site for this. They are everywhere, mostly used by women, and in my experience with them over the past few weeks, seem to be a type of interactive magazine. Personally, I didn't get it. Life is hectic, and I don't have time for this blogging sensation. I personally didn't partake in any online communities besides popular social media sites, and it brought me to this question. Why do people spend so much time closely following blogs? What kinds of genuine community and sense of belonging comes from these seemingly superficial websites? To explore this, I decided to take a look at Cup of Joe. Cup of Joe is a blog, headed by Joanna Goddard, a previous fashion magazine writer and editor turned professional blogger. It is run by a team of editors who write and manage the site. There are 6 main categories: style, food, design, travel, relationships, and motherhood. I poked through the blog some, reading several articles. Some articles, like this one on an easy hairstyle, seemed like simple posts just for reading. So I was surprised when people felt compelled to comment. Things like, "Such an easy hairstyle, love how elegant and quick it was. This looks like my wedding hairstyle," and so on. Everyone seemed to feel connected to the writer, and to each other too. The same thing happened throughout the food section. A simple recipe for bite-sized baked brie with honey. I mean, it looks great, and I definitely bookmarked it to consider making later, but at the same time, seemed like just a post with a recipe and a little anecdote. But people commented all sorts of things, with experiences and praises. It struck me even more that people felt connected when Joanna herself replied to a poster's comment. I still didn't get it though, and as I scrolled through this article on throwing a great dinner party, I got a little sad. It makes me sad to see posts about people having to throw successful dinner parties to hang out with friends and to get to know more people. But I suppose that is explained by the age difference between the writers and I. The comments showed some of the same things, but at the same time, these people really did feel connected. They got excited talking about their own experiences and loved sharing them with others. Sometimes, comments even led to other blogs, where people could read even more about the topic. And then, I ran into the first post that dragged me in and made me realize why people feel invested and connected. It was an article called "How Long Did It Take You to Fall in Love?" by one of the main editors. It's a cute story about how a man had been pursuing her to date and how long it took her to fall back in love with him. The story really got me, and I personally related to it a lot. I'm not super mushy, but enjoyed hearing about someone else's experience, and the open-ended question at the end left room for plenty more people to share their short love stories and congratulations. People really enjoyed hearing about her story. It was beautiful and relatable, they said. Others went on to say, "It blows my mind how quickly it happens, but it just does it completely right." Some even shared their own personal stories. "This is how my husband fell in love. This is such a cute story. Again, this is how we ended up together." And that's when I finally felt compelled to share my first post, because I found myself wanting to write about how I too know how they felt, and I was hoping that other people would find my personal story charming. After reading this article, I became part of the Cup of Joe community and understood the nature of all of the previous comments I had seen, even on the food and style articles. Everyone here got along and uplifted each other. They don't know each other, but nevertheless, the sense of community is still strong. I learned that I liked the relationship section the best. I ran across another article posted shortly after the attacks on Paris and the Syrian refugee crisis. Joanna wrote a short post about why people blog. It's a tough world out there, and Cup of Joe doesn't ignore that, although heavier subjects aren't always addressed. We always strive to make Cup of Joe feel like an escape from daily stress, a place where people can come for a fun break during their busy days, she says. And that is why women at home and work or wherever come to this blog to find friendly interactions in spite of busy, hectic lives. It can feel counterintuitive to write about lighter things during a week like this, And yet that's often what we need and crave most when life feels bleak. We think all the time about how to approach blogging, and that's never an exact answer. Of course, it's still on everyone's mind, so Joanna addresses this, and people respond with gratefulness, charities to donate to and more, as well of words of support and gratitude. Thanks, Joanna. Thank you. Thank you, people write. Another more light article that I stumbled across was this one on gift ideas for sisters. I don't have a sister, but I do have a picky mom that I never know what to get for Christmas. And I found one thing she would like in this article that was affordable. I followed the link, and, I'm not kidding, I actually noted these to possibly buy for my mom. But I'm holding off because then I saw Joanna's reply to this comment, and then this preview article. That's when I knew I was sucked in and I had to subscribe. It wasn't difficult, and now I receive emails and am awaiting the next round of articles to be published for some more ideas. In the meantime, I spent way too much time clicking through last year's guide. Even from last year's, I found this cool gift that I may get for my dad. To my own surprise, I became sucked in a bit. Even while trying to do more research exploring, I found myself relieving stress and killing time by clicking through articles and seeing what people had to say. I learned that lifestyle blogs are more than just places for internet-obsessed, awkward in-person people to find friends, or places for people to learn new hairstyles. It's a simple way for people to relate to one another without completely sucking them out of their non-computer lives, with ways to even enhance it. I'm not saying I'm obsessed, but I have since gained this new understanding for the online community.